Welcome to Jay the Usual Multimedia, and I suppose you could call this NFG podcast, considering it's all pretty much a monologue at this point. But second anybody wants to be interviewed on a show where we use free speech again, make sure to let me know in the comments below. So we've been dealing for the past 3 days with the unemployment office, and unfortunately I've had to document the entire situation because they're now actively deleting work that I've entered as their requirements for unemployment insurance to even be paid out. Then they deleted a letter that I got determining eligibility, which said that I was eligible, and determined the amount on a secondary basis, even though it had already been determined, and they've owed me this for months. They've lied to me, several agents lied to me directly, stating that they could not communicate at all with a supervisor about the situation, that they had no idea what the phone numbers or where I should look for the phone numbers or what offices to contact in order to get more information on the situation. At first, my case was closed without cause, and that was 3 days after everything was eligible. So, I've had them be cocky to me, I've had them hang up on me, I've had them leave me on phone lines with the same piano song playing for hours on end, and I've recorded it all. And now I've actually began to also document now they deleted all my weeks for the past 5 weeks, and now had me re-enter them, but from the appearance on the dashboard there, it looks like the timer was reset on my case as if I had just started a brand new case. That may not be the case, but this is not how people should be assisted in the United States when they're trying to find a job, especially when they're looking as actively as I am, as experienced as I am, as educated as I am. I have awesome credit. I've started my own business. I've worked in multiple facets from the beginning point all the way up to managerial positions in multiple career paths, and this is where you left. So to keep everybody posted, I'm trying to divulge this information, make sure to edit out all my private stuff, and then at the same time keep up with the UFO invasion footage that posted the other day, because we haven't even been able to get through all that footage yet. None of it has been identified yet, of course, so a bunch of stuff flying over the skies of Massachusetts with no identification numbers is definitely not safe. And they're not squawking, which is pilot speak for communicating with other flying objects such as planes, jets, helicopters, all that fun stuff. So definitely weird, definitely serious, and we have, of course, all the other different world events, all the different artwork I create, all the different shows. It's the middle of summer, so of course I could be doing a lot of different stuff with the drone pilot license that I have, and I do not have time for any of it because I'm busy searching for a job, trying to fight to get unemployment to help pay for all the different things that it takes to get a job nowadays, including time, which is my most expensive asset. And then of course you have all the different, either you got to pay for gas or I haven't used Uber, luckily. I've had family members that have been able to let me use a car, but that stuff is not free. And of course I'm having to do side jobs here and there in order to be able to maintain things like rent. Their birthdays never stop and all that stuff. So and then of course there's the fundraisers and bills. I'm maintaining everything as well as I possibly can, and I'm being assisted, and it's still not enough. So literally everything that I would have to rely upon the state or federal governments in order to get some sort of finances from, let's say, Doge, or let's say unemployment, it's all limited, including food stamps, which they give you a menial amount of money compared to what some families that are coming from other countries are actively getting, and it's a little bit sickening when that's happening at the same time that you also can't get work and then I have to hear from ignorant people at the same time saying, oh, you should just get a job. Meanwhile, they're actively employing illegal migrants, and only when they get caught with them do they start complaining about them being deported and shit. And it's like, oh, well, what are we supposed to do when we had a worker for 20 years? And it's like, well, maybe in those 20 years you should have figured out how to be an American instead of an asshole. You know, and if your farm or your business was gonna tank because of that, then maybe you should have went to the U.S. government and asked why the hell it was so expensive to pay the goddamn workers in the first place, because they won't make any wages make any sense in the markets or anywhere. So that's been my day. I've also been trying to assist. My stepdad's got surgery coming up. He just came out of a minor surgery, and my mom's sadly she helps out when she can, but when she's out of work, there's really not much more she can do but let me use a car and try to help me out when she can financially. But this whole thing is completely screwed to the point where I can't even understand how somebody who has no family or no assistance whatsoever could even survive in this. It doesn't make any sense. It makes perfect sense how people end up homeless and psychotic and driven to doing desperate things like dealing drugs and all kinds of other crazy ass stuff in order to survive out here, robbing people. You know what I mean? Like, this is literally what is driving the crime. As I can imagine that the illegal migrancy, right, because it is a crime in and of itself, is definitely a problem. But I have a huge reason to believe that there's a large gap of silence on the crime that's happening domestically by citizens and a lot of people that are in power and in government, which is really, in a time of war, kind of disheartening and depressing. I'll say that. So I'll keep everybody posted. I do have a sale coming up this weekend for the usual gallery artwork, and we'll be having a kind of yard sale when it's not raining, so you can definitely purchase stuff online either way. So subscribe, share, comment, like, all that stuff. The more we grow, the more we show, the more you view, the more we do. And at any point that all this stuff gets fixed and I end up with the finances I'm supposed to have, and or a big contract comes out of nowhere with any of the different career paths and applications and all the other crazy shit that I'm doing at the same time, the show will get awesome all of a sudden, and everybody's gonna have a blast. So and of course I'll be able to tell people about all the really terrible and crazy and really good things that are happening all across the world right now that I have no time to do because I'm dealing with this crap, including cures for cancer, which have just come out recently. There are new cures for metabolic and genetic diseases, and there's some new science out there that has to do with space and the economy and a few other different things, AI. So, I mean, it ranges, it varies. We're going to have a lot of fun if this curse ever breaks. But in the meantime, I'm going to try to, show people what the issues are in this State Department ridiculousness and show them how to get through it if I ever get through it. So, yeah. If I don't, well, we're still going to try to make the show anyway, and you'll still see content every day. It just won't be as So, yeah. Stay wary out there. Stay careful. Your best interests are not held by the people that you would normally rely upon in America. So be wary and, I don't know, protect those who can't protect themselves. We'll be back with more Jay the Usual Multimedia NFG Podcast with Jay the Usual. Later.